Hey everybody, Mike Naso here from IPR and podweather.com with the latest on Hurricane Bertha, which is now a major hurricane. Let's take a look at the Atlantic for the last 24 hours. Bertha has certainly gotten stronger. You can see at the beginning of this loop, it was a bursting moderate tropical storm, and ever since then it's been strengthening, and it is now a major hurricane sitting here crossing 50 west and 20 north and continuing towards the west-northwest. Let's take a look at the latest on Bertha. Here it is, Hurricane Bertha as of 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It was at 20.1 north, 52.1 west. Winds were up to 115, so it's a Category 3 hurricane now, gusting up to 140 miles an hour. It's a very powerful hurricane moving west-northwest at 11. That pressure is 948 millibars. This time yesterday it was about 998 millibars, so it has gone down about 50 millibars in a day, which means that we've seen it go from a moderate tropical storm to a very intense Category 3 hurricane. You can see the latest visible loop as we continue to track Bertha. Look at the way that eye clears out. Even at the end of this loop here, it's looking even stronger than 115. I wouldn't be surprised to see it get up there even towards 120, 125. And there's even a small chance that you cannot rule out Bertha becoming a Category 4 hurricane, but at this point, it looks like a Category 3 will probably be its max. Again, as the sun goes down, a very dominant feature in the Atlantic Basin for this July 7th, no doubt. Now here's the far away visible, and you can see Bertha right as the sun goes down, a very small hurricane, but a very intense hurricane, and really nothing else to speak of anywhere in the tropics. We do have a lot of moisture pumping in over Mexico and Texas, but that's not going to be a development feature, so Bertha is the only feature we're going to talk about. And really is kind of basic. You can see the wind shear. Bertha is currently under, say, southwesterly shear of about 15 knots, but it doesn't seem to be having any effect, and it's decreasing ahead, and Bertha's heading in this general direction. And so we really won't be seeing any significant weakening, and probably no more significant strengthening. It's probably peaked out. So a major hurricane moving towards the North Atlantic is probably what we're going to see. Now the projected path on Bertha is also pretty straightforward. You can see that it's expected to continue to the west-northwest and then the northwest and bend more north. Now Bermuda is in the cone, and it's likely we'll probably see over the next several days some watches and warnings go up for them. Whether or not they actually get impacted directly is irrelevant, because we know they will get impacted indirectly, at least by high swells, but a direct landfall cannot yet be ruled out. So if you're in Bermuda, you want to keep a close eye on Hurricane Bertha. Again, here's another vantage point of the visible, very, very well-defined hurricane sitting there and continuing to look intense. And as for the computer models, they're a little bit speculative on whether or not Bertha will get kind of bent back west before the northerly turn. Right now that doesn't look like it's going to happen. It looks like it's pretty much going to be sailing straight out north and will not impact the U.S. or the Bahamas, but Bermuda, as mentioned, needs to keep a close eye on this. Remember, 5 years ago they got hit by a powerful Category 2-3 hurricane, Fabian. Now, as the water vapor showed yesterday, Bertha has continued to move, and you can now see it here crossing 20 north, continuing towards 60 west, and it should get there over the next several days, but be turning in the process and eventually turn out. Where that turn occurs, if it happens sooner or if it happens a little bit later, it looks like it's definitely going to occur. But for places like Bermuda, you have to have your hurricane plan ready in case Bertha heads your way. Now, further out in the eastern Atlantic, you can see Bertha here on the edge of your screen. We do have a few tropical waves out there, but none showing signs of development. A big old wave about to move off the coast. We'll keep an eye on this. It's still kind of early to have Cape Verde hurricanes, especially Cape Verde major hurricanes, but we've had one, so we'll wait and see what else happens. And here's the water vapor, and note all the moisture pumping off. There has not been a lot of dry air moving off Africa like we've seen the last several years. And so with this moisture flow, we're likely in for more Cape Verde hurricanes later this year. Well, I'm Mike Naso from podweather.com. That'll be all on Hurricane Bertha today. I'll see you next time. Stay tuned.